Hey guys, if you're new to my channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button, bam, and make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you click on the bell over here and hit send me all notifications for this channel and click save. And if you subscribed, type I subscribed, and in my next video I'll give you a free shout out to everybody that subscribed and liked. This will allow you to boost your channel and get lots of views. Hope you enjoyed. Hey, what is up guys? It's Robuxian back again for another awesome video, and this time we're going to be going through the top 5 FPS games that are absolutely free in 2017. What games are still growing strong, what games are holding their front, and what games are dying. What games should you be playing to get the most out of your PC? And this video is going to show you the top 5 games that you should be playing, FPS free games that you should be playing today, tomorrow, whenever. So these are in no particular order at all. I'm just listing the top 5 FPS games out there. Of course, everybody has their individual preferences, so that's why I'm advising you to check these all out if you have time to download every single one of them, which will be absolutely cool. We can check them all out. These do cater to different audiences on how you like FPS games. If you like them to be more fantasy based, like Tribes Ascend, which we'll be talking about, or would you like them to be more cartoon based, like Team Fortress 2, or a bit more human based, like Call of Duty and Warface and all of that. So at number 5, we've got Blacklight Retribution. Maybe you've heard of this game. It's quite an older game. However, so Blacklight Retribution was actually released in 2012. However, the graphics, as you can see, are so top notch. They keep on updating it, so it's always evolving, unlike other games where they leave their graphics in a static state and it just looks poor. Just check out the gameplay. So Blacklight Retribution is a fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping first-person shooter. Just like any other FPS game, you get a massive arsenal of weapons that you can use, such as shotguns, machine guns, pistols, handguns, all of that good stuff. So you basically earn credits in game and you use that to upgrade your weapons. The maps are in high quality. I just can't stress that enough. I've actually played this game and the maps are so good, well thought out. If you do want to play Blacklight Retribution, here are the specs you're going to need. So of course you need a Windows Vista computer. If you have Linux or Linux, I'm sure you can run it as well. You need a minimum of a dual core CPU, 2 GB of RAM, and a minimum of DX9 GPU, G4 series. That's pretty low. Of course, this graphics card will only be able to run this on the bare minimum. Maybe you can get around 10 FPS. But of course, most of you nowadays have pretty standard computers that can run games at a decent FPS rate. So the next game, of course, is Team Fortress 2, which was released in 2007. Yes, this is one of the most oldest games, FPS games out there. However, as I said before about Blacklight Retribution, the graphics keep on updating, and as you can see in this gameplay, it is absolutely flawless. Especially if you have a high-end PC, the graphics can be amazing. So Team Fortress is not like most FPS games where it's more humanized, in a humanized environment. Team Fortress is more of a cartoony, not really targeted at kids as such, but it's more of a playful FPS game. It's still very fun actually. There are a range of maps and characters, especially the characters, the classes, the different classes that you can choose. Unlike other FPS games, of course they have medics and assaults and snipers, but Team Fortress 2 is more of a fantasy side to the FPS. I absolutely love it. It's cool if you need a different type of FPS game to play. If you're wondering how many classes or characters there are actually 9 that you can choose from. Team Fortress 2 have actually seen some competitive play back in 2012, I believe, where teams would actually play competitively to actually win cash prizes. So that just gives an insight into how successful this game has actually been. So let's check out some gameplay. So the Team Fortress 2 system requirements are actually a processor of Pentium 4 at 3 gigahertz or better, memory 1 gigabyte RAM, and that's pretty much it. Doesn't really specify the graphics card. I'm guessing it's probably similar to Blacklight Retribution. However, if you can run, some modern games, you definitely can run Team Fortress 2. Maybe not at a high FPS or setting. However, you will still be able to run this. Maybe you can reach about 30 FPS, which is about playable. So the next game at number 3 is America's Army on Windows. So America's Army release date was actually the 1st of October 2015. Quite recent compared to Team Fortress and Blacklight Retribution. The graphics on America's Army is not particularly great, but this is actually good for the people that don't have high-end PCs. Like some of my audience, maybe if you don't have a high-end PC, and you have just like a basic one, America's Army would be perfect for you. It's on Steam, it's absolutely free. If we just check out some gameplay, as you can see, looks a bit of a cheap game. However, you don't need crazy high graphics to actually enjoy an FPS game. There are a range of classes and weapons. I should probably say that this game reminds me of a game called Warrock. I'm not sure if any of you have actually played Warrock. It was an awesome FPS game. It's probably still is an awesome FPS game. I haven't actually checked it out in quite some years. It was just riddled in hackers and it just started to die because the game was just infested. But this does remind me of a game called Warrock. If you don't know about Warrock, check it out. Maybe they've recovered from their hacking virus, I should say. So if anyone's wondering, the system requirements for America's Army Proving Grounds is 2 to 4 gigahertz quad core and 4 gigabyte RAM. But basically, what this is saying is that if you can run most games that were created a few years ago, you can definitely run this game, just like the games I've spoke about before. So the next game is called Tribes Ascend at number. So Tribes Ascend reminds me of Halo a bit. So if you're wondering when this game was released, it was released in 2012, which is quite a while ago. However, as you can see, the graphics are absolutely crisp. That goes to show they continuously update their software, their hardware, all of that good stuff to make sure you have the most immersive gameplay and you can actually enjoy the game and its visuals. I have actually played this game myself. I actually have it on Steam and it is absolutely great. I'm always having fun. Every game is a new, different game with the different maps and the different classes. It's just absolutely cool. It has a lot of modes, 9 unlockable classes, which each of them have their own set of weapons. So there is some distinctive gameplay there. If you get bored of one class, you can shift to another class, which is absolutely awesome. I love that about games, giving you variety so you don't get bored too fast. And another cool feature about Tribes Ascent is that their maps have up to 32 players in their maps, which is awesome, which is actually really good because the maps are big. If you have about 8 players on each team and you have a big map, games will go on for ages and that gets quite boring. So having 32 players on one map will be absolutely fun. If you just check out this gameplay. Tribes Ascent is considered to be high-speed combat and literally has expansive updates to make the game immersive and to keep up with other games that are competing with this game. So the system requirements for Tribes Ascend is currently a Core 2 Duo processor at 2.4 gigahertz, RAM of 2 gigabytes, with XP or 3 gigabytes, with Vista or Windows 7, disk space of 10 gigabytes at least. And you need to have a graphics card of NVIDIA or ATI 512. And number 1 is Warface. Warface was actually released in 2013, you know, a few years ago, not too long ago, comparing it to other games as well. I do highly recommend you check this game out. It's absolutely awesome. I'm sure most of you have heard of Warface, maybe heard of your friends talk about it, maybe heard of it online on YouTube. It's one of the most popular new FPS games out there, and some awesome features are to enjoy a constant flow of new weapons, maps and more, meaning that they update this game nearly every week to make sure that its users, its players get the best out of the game. This is really important to actually value the players and what they have to say, especially on their forums. There are also awesome campaign modes, so if you know you're not maybe a big fan of multiplayer games, or maybe your internet's a bit laggy on that day, you can always play campaign modes and have some awesome storylines there, just like Call of Duty. Awesome storylines on the campaign mode which have a build up and keep you enticed. They have good use of Crytek's CryEngine technology to make sure that their graphics are top notch. If you don't know about CryEngine, it's one of the best graphics engines out there. You can also pick your side to fight, either the Blackwood or the Warface. Just like in COD and other games, they have 2 sides and you pick your side when you're about to join the game. This is free, you don't have to pay for anything. I'm guessing there actually are some in-game purchases, maybe some skins or some weapon upgrades, stuff like that, so the company can actually make some money. I must say that Warface has the graphics that I can closely compare it to actually Call of Duty. Maybe I know that maybe some of you are scorning at that comment. However, comparing it to other games I've actually reviewed and other games, other FPS games, PC games out there that are free, I have to say that Warface is actually quite comparable to Call of Duty in the way the guns look, in the way the visuals look, and the maps and the mini-map is quite closely related to Call of Duty. And also the game doesn't require high graphics, it's actually mediocre. If you can run some games made in the past few years, you can definitely run this game. I have actually used this game on an actually older PC, which was awesome. I didn't have the best FPS, but hey, the graphics card was about £20, you know, $30, whatever. So, you know, if your computer is mediocre, you can definitely run this at medium to high settings and enjoy the game at its full force. So Warface system requirements are currently dual core CPU, RAM of at least 1.5 gigabytes, and a GPU of at least GeForce 8600 GT or an AMD Radeon X1950 256MB dedicated memory. I'm sure most of you have better graphics than that. You can definitely run this. This is the bare minimum for the, you know, the lowest of the low graphics. So make sure you check out some of these games. If I've missed out, of course I've missed out some games. I'm sure there's games out there, you know, there's hundreds of FPS games out there that you can be playing, like Warframe, I don't know, PlanetSide 2, I think that went free, or it's always been free, I'm not sure. There are tons and tons of games out there, you know, do a nice Google search and all of that. I'll probably be updating this in a few months as 2017 goes on, because there are going to be definitely some new awesome games being released in 2017, especially some new MMORPG games I know I've been waiting for. New Morpage, that's what I like to call it. I don't know if people call it that as well. Morpage games out there. Now I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you've already known about all of these games, then that's awesome. Maybe you can suggest some games that you want me to review down below. Maybe there are actually some good games out there that are free that I haven't received a blow up yet. You know, look, there are actually loads of games out there that not many people play because, you know, it's being dominated by these massive companies. So leave a like, comment below, and make sure you subscribe for awesome tutorials, glitches, and hacks and reviews such as this. Peace.